Hey, good morning. I've been putting a lot of hours on this machine, so I'm going to clean it up this morning. Kind of wipe the machines down a little bit. I'm still working on the storage around here. But I got a little kerosene on a rag here. And I got that up there, so I'll get this here and just kind of wipe this down. It's a good machine. It's been doing really well. Get all that in there. Keeps this bright stuff here looking good. All that stuff. I kind of over-oil this thing because I think for years it had been a little bit under-oiled in some places for sure. All right. Get this in here. It just shines that right up, doesn't it? Yeah, it says in an old Dell's machinist manual to wipe your machines down with kerosene. It keeps the paint looking fresh and the bright work bright. I think it does. Yeah. Okay. I'll get up here and work on that tailstock a little bit. Get kind of an overview of just how this makes a difference, I think. Let's slide this over a little bit. Okay, watch the magic here. Now, this is something that people don't notice, but they do notice. If your machines look really clean, you're going to take care of their product. Yeah, you're going to give the work same care as you give the machine, huh? Oh, looks good. See, didn't that shine that right up? It did. Don't forget the wrench. Okay. Kind of acts as a good rust preventative too. Yeah. Get the cross light here, all that stuff. Oh, didn't want to do that. I'll have to recalibrate that. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's all right there. Let's see, I'm going to stand back and look at it. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Okay, I'm going to clean up another machine here. I'll get set up. Down here at the table saw again. I screwed up the edge of this board here with the router, goofed around with that, so I'm going to trim that off. But I'll show you a trick with the, this is the typical Biesmeyer fence. And I figured out a way to set this plus or minus a 1/1007". And so let's see, I hope there's not a lot of glare on that. So yeah, this is the lock, there it's locked. So you lift the lock up and you normally move it like that. I'll bring it back. And you got a scale here and a little window. I need to wax that. Oh, maybe the lock's a little bit. Okay, so I put my hand on either side of this and you can move it back and forth. Now watch that indicator. I'll bring it right to here. I think you can see that. That's right on 50. See, right on. I'd say that's pretty darn close. So see how it is when I lock it. Moved over just a 0.5 So I'll move it a little bit more. I'll wax this and that helps. So that's within 1/1000 there. And it's that easy. And I can move it 100,000ths. I'm kind of, yeah, I need to wax this, but you can still get it there. I think I'm going to scrap this and wax it. Okay, this is my Delta Rockwell 1214 tilting arbor saw. It takes blades up to 14 inch, but 12 inch is about right for it. I was going to show you a trick here. Let's see if you can see. Oh, I gotta hold it back just a little bit here. You gotta be able to see both my hands. Let me get this up a little bit. Yeah, just about like that. I think it'd be okay. I want to get this indicator over here and put it on either side. But you can put your thumbs on either side of this. Like you can rough set this. I got the table all waxed up and that makes things so much better. So we'll get it in contact with that indicator. Let's see if you can see that. I hope you can. Maybe I'll get you closer now to the indicator. Okay. So I got both hands on either side of this fence and I got my thumb on the fence itself here on the rail. And if you push with your thumb like this, you can put it right on 1/1000 of an inch. You got to jockey the lock a little bit. Get it to lock. Okay, now lift it up. Now I can push it back and like get it on 30 right there. And it's locked. And if I wanted to give it another 100,000ths, see, it's really easy. There we go. Within 1/1000th. You can juggle it, but with woodworking 1/1000th is plenty good. And I found, you know, if you can get wood within 2 to 5 thousandths, you're doing pretty good. Depending on the wood. Some wood's like metal, real dense. So you can get this within 1/1000th doing that. I'll show you a couple features of this saw. Get this off here. Now, the throat plate that goes in here is a big cast iron thing. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere here. And it's got a big opening. So you can take a piece of wood and run the blade up through it and make a narrow slot, and it'll be less chip out if you're sawing things to have less of a gap. And like I'll crank this blade up here. So the original plate here would have a really wide gap, and so I fabricated to make it easy for myself. I fabricated these aluminum ends, have adjusters to level it, and then I can replace these. I think I made 3 of these. One of them locks down, but I found I don't need to have it locked down. Then down here, I don't know if we got enough light to see. The big old motor in here. See if I can drop it down. Get in there and see the light will adjust, maybe, huh? Yeah, there's a 5-horse motor, and it's got 4 belts, 4 drive belts, and that's for cushion, for smooth running. Yeah. This saw is 1968. And it's called a cabinet saw. It's got a 10 base with the works mounted into it. The heavier saws are direct drive, and they can take like even up to 18-inch blades and are very heavy. But this is just about the right size saw for me. Okay, I'm going to saw this board. I screwed up this board here with my routing, so I'm going to trim that, and this worked out pretty good, the stuff that I've made. Get over here and I'll show you we'll get out in the garage and I'll show you how I'm applying this stuff. But I basically just took some old lumber, some salvage boards, and shaped it like this. Then I put some of it, I got 5 grooves, and some of it I just got edge grooves there. But I'm going to go ahead and saw that board. I'll be right back. I got to turn on the phase converter. Okay, let's fire this thing up. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to salvage this board here I coofed up. I'm going to glue it together, cut it in half and glue it together. So I'm preparing this edge here where wood meets the metal. And I've got jointer planes here. And this is the my best jointer plane, and I want to show you what I did. I hand scraped it, and this plane I used just for the last few passes. And I figured out a way to scrape these. Well, as a matter of fact, scraping them is the only way you can get them flat. And what I would do is I found, I've got these references, I've got surface plates and things like that, and I put it on the surface plate. Of course, not have the blade protrude, I'd have all the hardware in place, because these things stretch and warp. And then I held it in this vise here. I'd pop this out, put a screw jack in here, and then put it in here and hold it, then scrape the high spots. And that's the best way I found to hold this. And then there's that old rule, is that metal is like rubber, just harder. So if I held this and supported it just enough, Of course it would distort it, but it wouldn't matter. I would scrape the high spots, and then when I pulled it out of the vise, it would be more towards true. Then of course when I tested it, it wouldn't have any stress on it. So that's how I got these things flatter than a Lie-Nielsen plane. Flatter. But those are awful nice planes. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to flip this over and do the other side. Now, all of my hand planes, I scraped every single one of them. I think like 22 of them. Yeah, see, these sides are just saw cut here. This is a leg vise that I salvaged, but all the wood was no good, so I replicated the way it was and used the metal hardware. Really nice. I just clamp it over here. I'm going to build a better workbench that's specific for what I do, and it'll be quite simple. I think I better turn that around. I'm going to get hung up now. I can do it, There it is. It's got it. Okay. I'll move that on over, and I'm going to start with this number 7 here. Okay, here we go. Not thinking very much. It's getting very close. I'm not going to laminate this edge. I just wanted to demo this. Plus it'll clean it up. See, it starts to catch those spots. I'm adjusting it just so slightly as I'm going too. See that? There we go. Okay, now I'm going to go with the this older number 8, which is a diamond edge, the quality pledge. And I scraped this one too, and this one is a I don't know what they call that, ventilated. I have to think what they call that. It helps them glide a little bit. Can you adjust that down a little bit? Not quite catching that. There it is. You can see the wood coming out of that. Okay. We'll go to the bad one here. Digging back. Just taking feathers. Okay, that's how I do it. Thought you might like to see that. Here's some wood and metal blend here. Now, I forget what this screwdriver shank came off of, but it's really a good quality steel. I think it might be a Stanley from the 40s. And I hollow ground the tip to specifically fit the frog screws in these planes, and it fits this one too. And it's hollow ground so it doesn't damage the screw. A little thicker at the very tip. Then I made this handle here and this bronze bolster, I guess you'd call that. Nice. That's a nice thing. Okay. I got a lot of things like that. I got chisels and stuff. We'll get into that sometime. I think this radio alarm saw is about 1955. It's the earlier version of this saw. I guess it's a 9-inch saw. I don't know. Nice and smooth though, isn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna stiff arm it. A lot like that. Okay, I got that board laminated, and I want to show you something interesting. You can take these DeWalt, excuse me, carbide edge utility blades, see, and put them in a number 82 Stanley cabinet scraper, and they're just like magic. Check this out. This is there. So it's just going to clean that up real nice. I need to make a tool holder for the Morse taper 2 shanks. Like 3 of them maybe. I think I can. This is a nice piece of maple. It's got a nice figure on it. Let's scrape that just a little bit here. Get it kind of flat. Yeah. I think that'll be pretty nice. That's the good side. Okay, I'll fabricate that and probably be back. I just wanted to show a little bit of my woodworking for the machine shop. Okay, you guys have a good day. Okay, sometimes small things help a lot. This is kind of a cluttered area and kind of hard to keep uncluttered. But I finally got a place to put my cutters. I put this shelf up here, and this one I put grooves everywhere, 5 grooves on it. It's kind of hard to see because of the grain. But this is where I can put taps, cutters, after I use them. That's a long one. I better put it way back there. And then I can sharpen them and then put them back in my cutter drawer. Yeah, so that's kind of what I did. And I put a little piece of steel in here so I can park a magnetic base. And I did the same on that shelf there. So I'm getting this kind of organized a little bit better. I'm working on a place to put some tail centers. And I might put a tool tree in there. I'm not sure just yet. So I've been really busy here doing this stuff. And I do a little bit, and I'm inspired to do a little bit more. Okay, I'll check back later with finished items. I know I don't know all the proper woodworking terms, but this device I'm going to show you is designed by Egner in Germany, and I think it's available through one of the larger import equipment companies to use on shapers, but it's not really pushed too much because it's kind of discouraged to do any kind of handwork on powerful shaping machines like this. Is a shaper. It's a Shoda spindle molder. It's a Japanese woodworking industrial machine, which is pretty rare in the United States. Well, anyway, this device here is something that I copied, and I made it beefier. It's called an Aigner Contour Max. Contour Max, I think that is. And all it is, they call it a coping clamp. And what I'm going to do is on the end of this board, I want to do this decorative steps, see, to bring it around the edge on the end. And in order to do that, I'm going to use this clamp. And I loaded it. It's got a buffer piece here. This is the cam. And I got this piece here, and I could put another piece over there for blowout, but I just used the spacer. So this cam locks this piece in. I put it up against the fence here and bang on it and tap it down up here and got it loaded. And let's see, where's that tripod? It's way over here. Okay, I'll come back and show you what I'll do next. Okay, looks like I'm ready to go here. Now I'm going to cut a step like this on the end here, on this board here that I got loaded in this, I guess you could call it a coping sled. It's called a Contour Max by the inventor Aigner. And this is my version of it. I really like it. It's a nice blend of wood and metal. I got a very comfortable mahogany handle here. And this is a mahogany slider base here. So I'm gonna cut that step right across here. So let's make that happen. We'll start it up. And here we go. I'll do this in 3 cuts. I'm just using this piece here for the gauge. So I'll set this up real quick. Drop it down. Move the fence back. That car centered. This doesn't have to be any kind of accurate, that's for sure. I do it by eye within a couple of thousandths. Okay, how's that depth? A little deeper. Okay, that looks good. We'll make that last cut here. Whoop. Hang in there. And there it is. Okay. You guys have a good evening.